Hey beautiful people, welcome back to our space. Okay guys, I want to talk about something here. Somebody just asked me in inbox. He said he wished to know if there is a country or if there are countries a part of USA, Canada and Dubai where one can travel and just hustle. Now there is a lot of things, but I want to drop this video here so that you can learn from it, and I hope it's going to help you. Please share the video and like the video if you wish. Now you have to understand that moving abroad to hustle is one part of the process. Of course, everybody who moves abroad is moving because they want to hustle, right? That is a fact. How are you going to move abroad? That should be your focus. How do you intend to migrate? There are various visas you can use that will permit you to work abroad in as much as you have the visa. A study visa is one, because many students, when they get this visa, they get like a part-time job opportunity, right? Now, then the other visa is the work visa. These are the two visas that will permit you to work freely, or a permanent resident visa in the case of Canada. Now, if you do not apply for a study visa, you should be able to apply for a work visa, right? Excellent. Let's look at these two visas now. The best and easiest one to get is the study visa, because you just need to apply to a school, then look at the requirements for visa application, you apply for visa, then you move to this country. For example, if you apply to study in Denmark, Netherlands, Finland, Sweden, most part of EU, as an international student, you are already liable to work part-time. Most of these countries will give you 16 hours to work per week, 20 hours to work per week, 18 hours to work per week, 30 hours to work per week. If you've been watching my videos on YouTube, you will understand what I mean. And if you need a one-on-one consultation, you want to call me, you don't know where to go, you really don't know where to decide your immigration, depending on your documents, please book a call with me. Now, that is for the study visa. And if you look at this, you will see that it's somehow easy. And when you finish studying, you will be working part-time. Do not break the law. You will be working part-time. When you finish your studies, you will get something they call post-graduation work permit. You will apply for the permit, then you look for a job in that country. Then when you are working now, you can then push your stay to permanent residency, right? That is an excellent way to move abroad. Now, if you don't have the money to move abroad as a student, you don't want to move as a student, you don't have the qualifications, you don't have an option rather than to apply for a job abroad. Now, look at this. Applying for a school, it's very easy. Trust me, if you have the requirements and you have the money, you have your application fee and all the rest, you look well, you will apply. But applying for a job abroad, is it that easy? Trust me, I am telling you as an expert in this area, it is not an easy task. Yes, it is not an easy task. One, the reason is most employers, they are looking for highly qualified people with in-demand skills like nurses, doctors and IT experts and all the rest. But now, if you do not have these skills, the only way to use quickly and enter is using the school pathway, so that you yourself, you go into the country yourself, you look at the companies there, you go to the companies yourself, you have the opportunity to apply yourself and speak to them. You understand, face to face, even not face to face, you go in there, you gain experience in those areas and you apply. If you really want to work abroad, consider going through academics. This is my advice for you. So guys, if you are 40 years and above and you intend to immigrate abroad, please watch this video to the end. Also give this video a like, and please share the video with somebody you know who is like 39, 40 or above and intend to migrate abroad. Guys, my name is Milton. Welcome back to our platform. This is advice, genuine advice I want to give to those who are 40 years and above. Now, if you are 40 years and above, the first advice I want to give to you is, please try to migrate to countries that are English speaking. Now, what I mean by English speaking is, I'm talking about countries that you just need to write IELTS, or you just need normal English qualifications to apply for their permanent residency or citizenship. Now, if you look at most countries in the European Union, like Finland, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Netherlands, most of them, Poland, most of them, if you want to apply for their permanent residency or citizenship, any of them, you would be asked to write their language. And sometimes this language is not as easy as we think to some people. To me, it is not difficult because no language is difficult to me. I learned Turkish under 8 months and I was communicating in Turkish language with Turkish people, though not that good, but somehow flexible, though I didn't study in school. So if you actually want to go to some countries, please try to migrate to English speaking countries to get yourself the stress, and somehow work opportunities would not be in foreign languages. Of course, it's going to be in English. Now, this is where the problem is. If you look at the English speaking countries we have, most of them, if not all, are very expensive to enter. Look at UK, look at Ireland, look at Canada, look at United States, look at Australia and New Zealand. These are some few that I know. To enter there as a student is not as easy as you think. But I still have another advice for you. Listen to the end. If you go to any country abroad, or if you intend to move to any country abroad, please try to be legal. Legal, I means if you have been asked to go collect a temporary residence permit, go and collect it. If you are a student, collect your permit. If you are a worker, collect your permit. Try to be legal. The reason is because there are certain jobs you cannot do if you are not legal, and when you meet the police or law enforcement officers, you have to be running up and down. That is a big disadvantage to you. You are caught, you may be deported. Try to be legal. And again, if you want to move to another country, you cannot go to any embassy if you are not legal. Know this and know this. Please, also, if you move to a country, if you think your budget is not enough to go to those English speaking countries I just gave you, look at your budget, plan it well, move to any country that you think you can like your money can accommodate. Okay, but when you get to that country, if you are studying or you are working, try to learn the language, because getting the language and learning the language of that particular country will open doors for you. I mean what I'm saying. There are certain jobs you cannot do except you know the language, and if you know the language, you can be employed. And there are certain things you cannot do without the language. If you know the language, is a great advantage for you, and you need these languages in these countries to apply for maybe PR like in Finland, or citizenship like in Denmark. I hope you understand. This is the information I have for those who are 40 years and above. I'm saying this because their age is somehow somewhere. But if you want to move abroad and you also intend considering moving to a country where the language of maybe the basic communication is not English, also try to learn the language. It's going to help you. I know some people will be like, oh, I just want to go and hustle. Don't listen to them. Learn the language. It's going to help you a lot. This is the advice I have for you for this video. Please, if you intend to apply to Sweden this year or in the coming years, please remember, I have said it, and it looks like many of my followers, they don't do their own research when they watch my videos. I don't know what is the issue, but if you are going to be applying for a study visa to Sweden, admissions to study in Sweden in January 2025 is going to commence in few days time. So these are some of the things you should pay attention to. One, there is an application fee you have to pay, and you can apply to more than 4 programs to study in Sweden. Also remember that some people might be asked to send in their English proficiency exams. I mentioned this in a video so you understand well. Also remember, I told you in those videos, in that video on YouTube, that you should avoid courses that are 7.5 ECTS credit units, 15 ECTS credit units, and try to apply to courses of at least 90, 120 and 180 ECTS credit units. It's so important. Equally remember that I told you in that video, or I said, When you are applying to Sweden, consider your tuition fee first that you are going to pay immediately you get admissions. All Swedish universities will always ask you for a deposit, and if you look very well, it's equivalent to at least 3.5 or 3 million or plus. So depending on the ECTS, that's how the tuition is to be increased. So the tuition fee for Swedish programs would be increased according to the number of credits, and most master's programs would be like 120 credits, most bachelor's 180. That's 2 years, 3 years. So please put all of this into consideration and make sure you have money to process Sweden. You can move with your spouse to Sweden. You can work part-time and your spouse can work full-time. You as the international student can equally work full-time, but it is not advisable because you are the one that brought in your spouse and your spouse is working full-time with a working permit under your visa. So if you want to get your visa renewed, you need to pay attention to studies and not work, and let your partner be the primary worker here. So always make some considerations to know who is going to be applying for studies, the husband or the wife. You can move with your family depending on your money. Remember, you need at least 7 million CFA francs if you really want to migrate abroad. You can check the Migration Vacate website for all these details. Please watch that video on YouTube to understand well. There are new laws in Finland, there are new laws in Sweden. I will be bringing those details in the days ahead, and if you need a one-on-one appointment with me, please book a call so that I can call you and advise you in case you need advice and you have not been able to get the information. I hope this is clear.